right, y'all gonna have to excuse the angle. I'm in my grandmama's car. She out of town, and I have to tend to her things. So I'm being her by being in her car. Y'all don't care. Anyway, let's talk about Empire and Star. I didn't take not a single solitary note. You know why? Because the premieres of both of these shows weren't that great. They didn't feel premiere-esque to me. It was just like, yeah, girl, we coming back. I mean, and as somebody who waited until after the season premiere to watch the season finale from the last season for both of the episodes, it was like, I guess, girl. Like, I guess they were relying on people who watched the finale when it aired all those months ago to have forgotten certain things and it just be glad it's back. For me, it was just like, girl. So let's talk about Empire. You start off, you got Lucius standing over this white casket, honey, and touching it. You know how Terrence Howard has the weirdest hands. His hands look like this. When he holding his hand out straight, he got that one finger out, and he was touching the casket with the one finger. It was like, ugh, put that away. put that up. But he got his hand on the casket and looking all solemn and sad. And it was just like, girl, who in it? We know it ain't Eddie. Eddie done got cremated. It ain't Hakeem. Hakeem got shot, and the young man didn't look shot at all. I know it's supposed to have been 2 years, which that was another thing. Like, you coming back, you gave us all that fever, all that drama at the end of the finale for last season. I'm sorry, y'all, my shirt got sparkles on it and it's making noise. But you come back at the end. I mean, you come back from the end of that season with all that drama, all the shooting and the carrying on and the do. Eddie done hit his head, all of that. And you come back 2 years later. I hate when shows do that. You leave us on a cliffhanger and then you come back years later, girl. Years? The hell? So anyway, it's been 2 years. I'm trying to figure out, I know the music world works like this, but I'm trying to figure out why 2 years later they're just now releasing Tiana and Hakeem's final song before the shooting. And it's just like I understand that they music producers, and it's actually, that's more of a thing of the past. They don't really hold songs like that anymore. They really don't, especially when it's a couple, because couples break up very quickly. If you've noticed, anytime Ariana Grande is in a relationship, the music she's singing with her man comes out while they're in the midst of the relationship. Anyway, so they recently released this song. I guess it's been nominated for some things. They're gonna perform it at some things or whatever. But Hakeem can't breathe because he done got shot. Tiana talks him into getting on the stage and having the backing track and get up there and just lip sync. And I was like, that's really not the worst idea, if we're being completely and totally honest. So long story short, girl, they get up there on the stage, child, and he up there doing all his dancing and carrying on. And the thing about it is, if it's 2 years later, this little move that the kids be doing, it will be over because it's nearly over at this point. But whatever, have your same choreography 2 years later. Anyway, he does his little moves, and I'm sitting here like, if he can't rap and breathe, doing these moves ain't it either. So he done got winded, honey. He get to coughing and hacking and wheezing. He done dropped down on the floor and got his eagle on. Oh, girl, she got to walk all the way from... I feel for her. Hopefully the bus dropped her off. I'm sorry, it's a little girl walking down the street, and she had on her school's shirt. But the school is a ways away, honey. It's a good long ways away. It's about 4 miles from here. So hopefully the bus dropped her off, and she walking like she tired. Anyway, she might have just had a long day. Where was I? Yeah, all that dancing and stuff, it wasn't it. But whatever. Honestly, I feel like people would have understood if Hakeem just stood there or sat there like Adele and gave you a lip sync for your life. It would have been fine. But he got up there, was dancing and lip syncing and lost his breath, coughing, hacking and wheezing. The DJ didn't stop the backing track at all. So you see him coughing, and then you see his lips not moving to the words. And then, he rushes off stage, and I guess he gives the mic to the white boy, Brian, white boy, I don't know, whose daddy shot him. And it's just like, he be blowing everything out of proportion all the time. This white boy daddy done shot you, and y'all still cool? Because let me tell you something, I would have to keep my distance, personally. As somebody who can hold a grudge, I generally don't, but I can, if I need to, hold a grudge. But usually my grudges are about something. Hakeem just be mad half the time about nothing. About absolutely nothing. So it just really don't make no sense for him to still be friends with this boy who daddy I would be like, as much as I love you, your daddy shot me. Your father shot me. I don't know how we can be. I know you don't really fool with him or anything like that, but your daddy shot me. Shot me. Anyway, it just didn't make no sense. But I'm going to call him Britt. Britt runs out, honey, on the stage, and he raps it, and he sounded better than Hakeem to me, honestly. Just no shade. He just has a different quality in his voice, and it sounded better on that song. That's just all that is. Anyway, long story short, Hakeem mad at Tiana for making him go out there and do his thing. And it's like, you was going to have to go outside. You don't have to. Do you have? Oh, okay, she got the light. I was going to say, you just out here. Anyway, to Hakeem, you was going to have to go outside after a while anyway. You was going to have to go outside. It just don't mean, the ghetto. Anyway. So he mad at her about that. I don't know. They hollering. Oof, the ghetto. Oh, the ghetto. I got some hair care products right next to me. I went to the store just now. But yeah, I just didn't understand. In the meantime, Jamal got a new man. When does he not? Jamal always got a new man. This one kind of looked like Tay Diggs when he walked in. I said, but I thought we killed you. But it wasn't Tay Diggs. But it was Tay Diggs' homosexual alter ego. Which, is it really an alter ego? Is it really? Anyway, ghetto. So they walk in, honey, because, Mama Cookie been wanting to meet the boy and all of this, and apparently Lucius is all of a sudden not homophobic any longer, and we didn't see him work through that really. It's just like, one day he was putting his son in the trash can, the next day it was like, I had ALS, so now I'm not gonna be homophobic. I'm gonna just stay right here because you just didn't, you could have let me over, but you didn't. And the thing about it is, I'm gonna get to my destination sooner than you are because, girl, I'm me. And when you're me, you succeed. And when you're you, I'm talking to the car next to me. Anyway, yeah, all of a sudden Lucius had ALS and he's been through some things and he lost his leg and now he's not homophobic anymore. And I'm just like, I guess that's really not how black men work, but this is Lee Daniels' fantasy. It ain't mine. But yeah, so they bring the boyfriend over and Jamal and the boyfriend go to Jamal's house. They go to Jamal's house. And Hakeem is in there and pulls a gun and puts it to the back of Jamal's boyfriend's head. And I'm sitting here like, at my own home, in my New York Pollard voice, the same wound, Flav? The same wound? It just, because what you're not going to do, he got all these guns laying around. He got all this mess, these chicken bones laying on the floor, honey, dice in the corner with a little pile of money because the boys was over. It's just a mess in there. And at my house, you acting a fool like this at my house. We saw Hakeem's house. And Hakeem over at his house didn't have a mess like this. So you come all the way over to my home to disrespect it. See, I don't have that kind of foolishness. That's foolishness. That is Ashanti foolish, Denise Williams silly. I can't today. It's a little. You did too much. You was foolish, pulling out in front of these moving vehicles. But yeah, it just didn't make no sense. Who else? Andre in jail for killing Anika. 2 years. I'm assuming it was involuntary manslaughter because he did not push that woman off that balcony. He didn't push her. His wife did, but he didn't push her. And that was legendary. I hope the car ain't had no accident back down in. It's just down. Okay, that ain't my business. Let me just keep it pushing. But yeah, that was legendary. Them bringing back the wife. I hope they bring her back for more because she didn't deserve to be dead. Like she got on my nerves for a while, but Anika, she's the worst. But she gone. Anyway, yeah. So Andre, he's in jail. He, pulling Andreism stunts and shows and carrying on and doing all that he can do from the jail to keep the family afloat. I'm just still sitting here trying to figure out why they ain't got no money for no air conditioning. I'm talking about Cookie and Lucius at this point. They ain't got no money for no air conditioning. Cookie said it's hot. He said, do you have $50,000 to fix the air conditioning? Why don't you have $50,000 to fix the air conditioning? You were supposed to be the P. Diddy of this universe. Why you don't have money in the bank? Why you lose empire and all of a sudden you ain't got no money? That ain't how it worked. That's not, y'all didn't have no money saved up nowhere. I just, like, I understand that they didn't have any money from, they didn't receive any money from the sale. Let me get over. The sale of Empire, because that money was tied up in something else and they didn't get no money. Well, who are you waving at, sweetness? We on the freeway. We ain't got time for you to be lollygagging and saying hello. Girl. Anyway, I know the money was tied up from the sale, and then the other money was tied, the money that they raised to buy back Empire, or buy, take it over or whatever, was also, they had to pay that back as a condition of the agreement to raise money. I don't know. But they didn't have no more money nowhere else. They didn't have no more money nowhere else. They don't own no masters to their music. They don't, they just ain't got no money. They haven't invested in anything other than Empire. They don't have a sports team. They don't have a clothing line that's not tied in with Empire. Nothing. They just can't come up with $50,000 to pay for the air conditioning. Okay, all right. We living in the same world where Lucius is all of a sudden not homophobic and meeting his son's boyfriends. Anyway, if I missed anything, girl, I just missed it, honey. Because like I said, I ain't taking no notes. And I watched this episode on Wednesday, honey, and it's Tuesday. So it's put out of my mind. Let's go and move over to Star. They done shot Patti LaBelle. I understand that she's supposed to be this gruff streets woman, but Patti LaBelle's character over here on Star I don't like her. I don't like her. I won't be able to do it. It's just a no from me. But they shot her. She in the hospital. Apparently, it was a flesh wound because she up moving around doing her thing later. Star is pregnant, girl. Honestly, it would have made more sense to have her be the pregnant one instead of Alex in the other season, but they had to throw us for a loop with that one. What else, girl? What else? Oh, let's talk about Simone, because I've been wondering, and I've said plenty of times, girl. So glad I'm out from behind you. I've been saying for the longest time, what was the point of them introducing Simone's bisexuality, or honey, in my opinion, if I'm writing the story, I say she gay because anybody want to date Evan Ross is probably attracted to women. But that's just, listen, he's soft. He's soft, as my grandmother would say. He's soft. But anyway, I've been wondering for the longest time what was the whole storyline with Karen, how she fell in love with this little ugly girl down to the juvenile detention, and then the woman died. It was just like, what was the point of all of that? But the point was to get to this point here. So Simone out at the function drinking champagne, talking about she grown now, she 18, like L'Oreal from Dreamgirls. And it's like, Lee Daniels has this real big issue where he loves to write underage drinking. I understand that people drink underage. I was one of them. I had a couple sips underage. But what I would never do is promote underage drinking like that, like it's legal. If I were writing something with underage drinking, I would have the kids sneaking the drinks. These kids be out here with champagne glasses, just flutes, honey, champagne flutes, just drinking it up, having a good time, drinking straight from the bottle out in public. And that's not the world I grew up with. I just don't understand. But anyway, child, Simone out at this function, drinking and carrying on. She don't want to go home, but Alex does. We gonna get to Alex in a minute, but she got a little touch of PTSD. Simone say, girl, I'll call you when I get to the house. I'm gonna hang out for a little while. And she meets this woman. They both talking about how, they don't want to talk about their husbands tonight, honey. It's carrying, which is just drama. I just don't want to talk about him right now. Long story short, and I told my mama while we was watching, I said, you know where this finna go. She didn't know where it was finna go. Next scene, honey, they in the bed, Simone in her drawers, and my mama was like, oh no. And I'm like, girl, we knew where this was. I told you where this was finna go. I gave you the warning that this was going here. She didn't heed. So anyway, girl, long story short, that woman she was in the bed with is the new owner of the label's wife. This finna be messy. Okay. I don't care. I don't. Let's talk about Simone. Alex. Alex is suffering with PTSD. She was going through a lot, when she got on that plane to New York. She was mad at Star, which the thing about it is, be mad at Star all you want to, that's fine. But be mad at Star. Like this, I hate her that the girls were doing. It's like, she already explained to you that she had no plans of releasing that song. She was just in there venting. the thing about it, for me as a grown person, an actual adult human being, if somebody pissed at me, okay, cool. If they're venting about it, do you. If it comes out and I hear it and everybody hears it, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's messed up. But if you explain to me, girl, I had no intentions for that to come out. They just did, honey. I don't know. Somebody released it. Personally, I'd be like, well, look, very much like when on Insecure, when Issa Rae got up there at the function and sang Broken Pussy, and what's her name, Molly, for some reason, and this has been on my heart today, I keep replaying the scene in my mind over and over. All day I've been replaying when Molly opened her mouth and said she wrote this song about me. Girl. But anyway, very much like that. Like, Molly was mad for a little bit, but then it was like, girl, are you done acting a fool? Let's go on back and be friends. Like, that's how I would be. I'd never get to the point where it's like, I hate her. Like, girl, you was venting. It's all right. We cool. If we real friends, or if we biological sisters especially, there's absolutely nothing my biological sister can do, aside from maybe like murdering my mom, that would make me be like, I hate her. Girl, no, I love her to death. Anyway, it just, that whole to do didn't make sense. But anyway, Alex got on the plane. She was angry and distressed, honey. You know Alex loves to be a distressed white woman. And this young lady got up on the plane. I think her name was Bianca. She got on the plane taking pictures of Alex. Click, click, oh, hey, girl. You don't click, click, oh, hey. You, oh, hey, and then you say, can I click, click? That's how the etiquette works. But she got on there, click, click, how you doing? I'm just so happy to be, in your presence. I'm a big fan. Why you ain't coach? Anyway, moving on. I love you so much. And Alex was just like, could you please stop talking to me? And I was like, Alex, no, girl, no. No, that's rude. You can't really, girl, turn. You gonna let this bike rider go by? You gonna wait for a man on a bike? Child, the ghetto, I tell you. Anyway, but yeah, Alex had this attitude, and I was like, don't do that. In my Cash Doll voice, don't do that. I love Cash Doll. They need to have bring Cash Doll on Star. That's going to give me something. Bring Cash Doll on Star. Let her do a song with the girls. That's it. Anyway, what was I going to say? So the plane crashed. The crane crashed too, honey, because she was on the plane. But the plane crashed, girl, Ebony or Bianca, whatever her name was, girl. I'm calling her Ebony because she looked like Ebony Fashion Fat model from back in the day. But because she was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But she looked like maybe she passed away, and Alex is having survivor's remorse and PTSD because plane crash will give you the PTSD, and outliving somebody would give you survivor's remorse. And then she was mean to her too, so now she guilty with survivor's remorse and PTSD. It's just too much going on. Far too much. Far too much. But anyway, all of that's going on. She going through having flashbacks, all of that. Star is on tour. She's on solo tour. She rubbed Tiana Taylor the wrong way. And Tiana came out there with this little bitty gun. I be tired of these women with these little bitty guns. Have a regular size gun. I hate to see women with the knuckle, your finger knuckle go past the barrel of the gun. These little bitty guns. It's worse. And it was gold. It was just like, girl, enough is enough. But she came out here with this little bitty gun, and they done canceled the tour. Now Noah Brooks don't know what to do because he done got clean, but he don't know how to stay clean without singing. And I'm like, well, you can sing without being on tour, sweetness. Get in the studio, make an album, go on down to the mall and sing for the children. You can sing with it. If it's truly about the music, get on Instagram Live every fourth Thursday and give the girls a concert. Like, it's things. There are things that you could do, but whatever. So Noah Brooks is going through it. He went and talked to Miss Bruce. Auntie Bruce got him right together, told him stop doing all this, just carrying on. If you need to talk, I'm here. And took his little baggie of cocaine out of his pocket, and we moving on. Apparently Alex and Derek are back together, and he up walking unassisted. And I'm just like, I'm tired of everybody giving us the black, light-skinned boys being in a tragedy. Now he can't walk. And so let's put him in a wheelchair for a season or two, and then we're going to get him up on his feet. Like, that was played out when the white people did it in Canada with Drake. It was enough then. It was like, oh no, Jimmy's been shot. I was there. I was watching live when Jimmy had done got shot. Child, I remember I was shook. I was like, oh no, how could we ever? And I watched Degrassi long enough to see Jimmy get up on that cane. He dated his physical therapist. He and Ashley broke up. He and Hazel did a little trying to get back together, but ultimately it didn't work. Like, all of that, I was there for it. So I'm tired of this storyline being revisited with Quincy Brown. We can do other things. We can do all things through Christ. They could have given us something else, but anyway, he up walking, he fine, honey. He dancing with his grandmama. They doing the bump. Like, it was just a lot. Speaking of his grandmama, as soon as he left out the house, honey, somebody broke in the house and raped grandmama. I said, what are we doing? What are we doing? Far too much. Far too much. In the meantime, girl, Queen Latifah and Brandy, Cassie and Carlotta, they beefing. This means war. And I'm just saying, like, Brandy, why do you feel like you need to experience going to war with your sister when you was in the wrong? She keeps saying, well, I loved Hael, but and I didn't mean to, but now, it's war. Girl, I guess I feel like you should just be comfortable in knowing. Take comfort in knowing that your sister don't like you no more. She mad at you, and sit with that. Why we got to go to war? It was on my nerves. What else? Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so, but probably. I can't think of nothing right now. But again, like I said, probably. Probably missing something. Anyway, I'm gonna go in this house. There's some chili in here. I done went to the store, got me a little jungle juice, the fruit punch flavor. Fruit punch. And see what you do. You get this and you mix it with your ginger ale, and it gives it a little sparkling punch, a little kick. Now, I use Schweppes personally, but it's up to you. You can use whatever you want to do. You can do Canada Dry. I know Canada Dry got this new half ginger ale, half lemonade. That's probably good mixed in with a little fruit punch. Put a little tea in there too. Make you just a suicide. Get you something delicious for your mouth. Anyway, I'm finna go on in this house because, girl, it's 90 degrees and there's no reason for it to be 90 degrees in October, but here we are. Like, comment, subscribe, and all the things the YouTubers say. I'm finna do something to my hair, and I'll see y'all in the next one.